Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 437, back on the topic of the NFL. As of about 15 minutes ago, Tom Brady agreed to a one-year extension for him to play. That also extends his paying contract for another 4 seasons. So essentially, he just freed up a bunch of cap space for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So today, Jay and I are going to be talking about what that means for him and the future of the Bucs. But first, question of the day, kind of a new style question of the day, but we want to know who you think the greatest quarterback of all time is. Comment below who you think the best quarterback ever is, and at the end of the video, Jay and I will give our votes on who we think it is. But Jay, obviously, Tom Brady's done this his entire career. He's taken pay cuts to get elite players around him. So what do you think this means for him and the Bucs moving forward?
What this means the most to me is once Tom Brady gets 9 rings after winning this past year, 7, getting 8 this year, and 9 next year, is he going to extend and go for 10? That is the biggest question to me. But in a realistic standpoint, this really helps out the Buccaneers exponentially. There's a big question mark of their biggest free agents of Chris Godwin, Shaq, Barrett, Levante David. There's no way in hell they can get all 3 back no matter how much restructure is happening. But Tom Brady's done it again. He's going to push off the money for the Buccaneers to worry about later. Yeah, that might be a problem in the long run like the Saints did with Drew Brees. But right now, if they get another ring out of it, it doesn't matter. It's completely worth it in the end. And I'm just pretty happy about it. We're both Bucs fans. I think this puts up a big gives them a big position to sign Shaq Barrett long term. This might make Gronk come back easier. This might make AB come back easier, and Leonard Fournette and Ndamukong Suh. I don't know if everyone will come back, but I do think the big 3 coming back is very likely now, and Shaq Barrett, Chris Godwin, and Levante David, with 2 of them already being back. And to be honest, if they get them back, I definitely think they're going to go back-to-back. Yes, Matt Stafford and the Rams are going to be a threat. The Niners will be healthy, and they'll be a threat, and Aaron Rodgers will always be a threat. But this roster is just good enough. They have all their coaching staff in Byron Leftwich. They have Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians. No big piece has left the Buccaneers yet, and I do think they will go back-to-back.
Yeah, what this really did, obviously, was create a situation where the Bucs team can be as close to as it was last year. I mean, there's really no way that it can get any closer to what it was last year without Tom Brady doing this. So obviously, the team that we saw last year in Tampa was like one of the best football teams I've ever seen. I don't know, just the way they played, good offense and outstanding defense, all of the above. They did it so well. And like Jay just said, with all those free agents and Sue and Barrett and Gronk and AB, there's really no better chance for them to come back than there is right now with Tom Brady taking this. I don't even want to call it a pay cut. I mean, it's essentially a pay cut, but whatever, the restructuring.
He was already cheap.
Yes, exactly. Tom Brady is just, he wins. He's a winner. He's done this his whole career. This is consistent with what it takes to win Super Bowls. Obviously, Tom Brady knows how to do it. And now this is going to make, I don't know, the Cowboys front office start kicking themselves. I don't know. The Chiefs with Mahomes obviously didn't win last year, had a good year, but they're paying him so much money. So all this, of course, all these new contracts in football, it seems like every single time a quarterback gets a long-term contract, recently it's, this is highest paid. It's just getting higher paid. Meanwhile, Tom Brady, who is obviously, unless you want to make an argument for somebody else, which you can't really, he's the best quarterback of all time, and he keeps doing this pay cut style of restructuring, and it's how you win football games, or it's how you win championships.
Yeah, Colin Cowherd said it, and I've referenced it before. A good way to put together a Super Bowl team is have a rookie quarterback with a lot of talent, or a quarterback on their rookie contract with a lot of talent, be cheap, and you surround him with talent, or a great quarterback who's a veteran, give your team a family discount so you have the money to surround him with talent. And Tom Brady's the best example of that. He's always given the family discount. He's always been cheap, and he's been able to provide talent and money on his team, and it's worked out in the long run. He's got 7 rings. And the other examples of being a young guy on a rookie contract is, of course, Joe Flacco with the Ravens. There's Patrick Mahomes, even when he won, was on his rookie contract. It's example and example, and it's very often you see a guy that's taking 20% of the salary, like Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, go on and win when just one guy is basically taking all your money. Tom Brady knows it best. He's probably the most unselfish player in the NFL, and this really just proves that he just loves the game of football, because if he wanted to retire, it's not like he has anything left to prove. This just proves that he loves to win and loves to play, and he just wants to get better and keep on winning.
Yeah, again, I think there's no coincidence between the most successful football player of all time and the fact that he's willing to be so selfless with his pay. I guess we do have to consider the fact that he's already 43.
Yeah.
Playing now through he's locked into Tampa through 2022. You're looking at 45, 46 years old, but he's obviously been vocal about wanting to play to 50. This is I always thought that's a joke. He's going to be out by 45. Well, not necessarily. So basically, the possibility of him playing to 50 becomes more real as every day goes on, because now he just signs an extension. So I don't know. But as far as going back to back, I think that would be. I think in Tampa, especially with I guess his expectation as in Brady's is to go back to back, and I think it's certainly possible. I think the Rams are the biggest threat. I think the Packers will be pretty good this coming year, but not great. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see the Bucs Rams, because you're going against. I mean, if the Bucs defense can return to what they were, that's like top 1 and 2 defenses in the National Football League going against each other and possibly an NFC Championship matchup.
I'm really curious when the exact number will come out of what his contract is this year, because not only will he be able to re-sign those guys like we talked about, but can they go out and even get more? You know, Richard Sherman, he'll be a free agent. Patrick Peterson, Von Miller. Receivers, maybe they can afford Odell Beckham. I don't know. That would obviously involve a trade, but can they go more than outside of just re-signing the same guys? Can they become one of the greatest teams of all time, if not already?
And we all thought, or at least I did, when the Bucs put together the roster they had last year, was how in the world did they pull this off?
Yeah.
How did they get all these high caliber players? Well, I think they're going to end up being able to do it again.
Yeah, 100%. I think even Mike Evans, he's talked about restructuring. If he does that, most unselfish, one of the best teams of all time, and they're only going to get better.
And yeah, he's already said that. And then Lenny's a free agent, which I mean I think he played well enough to prove that he's worth re-signing.
If we do lose him though, Rojo's
right. I think Rojo's arguably better, but I guess playoff Lenny did absolutely take off. So there's a lot to think about what the Bucs can do, but in all honesty, Tom Brady just made it to where whatever the Bucs want to do or need to do, they can afford to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, guys. All right, that's all for the video. As far as our question today, again, we kind of asked you guys to answer who you think the greatest quarterback of all time. For me, it's 100% Tom Brady. There's really no question.
Yeah, not much question.
Nobody's better than Tom Brady. Guys, thanks for watching. 2-minute warning.